my audience. I'm Anthony Peterson. I'm doing my speech about the movie Coach Carter. The reason I've chosen this movie is because it's one of my favorite true story movies, and it's based about basketball and has a lot of quotes and relates to a lot of personal life issues that people can have. This movie came out in the year 2005, and according to Nielsen Eddy from USA Today, Coach Carter led the box office to the second biggest Martin Luther King Day weekend since it became national holiday in 1986. So the movie brought a lot of attention, and this attention kept on going throughout the whole 2005 because USA Today later reported that the movie Coach Carter ended up being the second most rented movie that year. Coach Carter takes the role of the basketball team where he used to be a former student and still a record holder up to that date. He does not only make great basketball players out of these students, but he also shapes these kids into full-grown adults. This movie has 4 themes, which are respect, teamwork, and dedication. The first theme, respect, talks about how Coach Carter shows these students to be very respectful towards themselves and others. As said by Natasha Grant, author for the New York Amsterdam News, Carter is a no-nonsense kind of coach. He insists that his players meet basic academic standards and respect themselves. The players must sign contracts agreeing to the following: show up early for practices, refrain from using the N-word, sit at the front of and pass and attend all their classes, and wear suits and ties on game days. The second theme is about teamwork. The players here learn to work together as a team and help each other out. They have some issues with one another, and one of the players ends up leaving the team to go work for his cousin, who is a drug dealer. He ends up on the streets selling drugs for money. After meeting back with his team a few times, he decides he wants back in on the basketball team. He goes up to Coach Carter and asks him if he could please join back the team. The coach refuses it, but then tells him there's only one way he could get back in is by doing a penalty exercise. The movie plays itself in Richmond, Los Angeles, where only 50% graduate from high school, and from those 50%, only 6% of those students go to college. During this time, many of those students in the basketball team fail to maintain their contract and keep their grades up. So there's a lockdown on the basketball gym, and this is where they learn to have good teamwork together and help each other out, along with the help from some teachers that volunteer to get their GPA up. The third theme about this movie is dedication. That one player that left the team comes back to the team and dedicates him to the contract and answers his coach with this question that he's been asking him. And here's the video. Although they had been through a lot that season, they managed to make it all the way to the state championship, having been undefeated compared to the last season, where they only had won a few games and lost over half of it. Once they reached to the finals, they did not win, but their coach had one last speech for them, and this is the video.
Not quite the storybook ending, one. Not for us anyway. But you men played like champions. Never gave up. And champions hold their heads high. What you achieved goes way beyond the win-loss column or what's going to be written on the front page of the sports section. You've achieved something that some people spend their whole lives trying to find. What you achieve is that ever-elusive victory within. And gentlemen, I am so proud of you. 4 months ago when I took the job at Richmond, I had a plan. My plan failed. I came to coach basketball players and you became students. I came to teach boys and you became men. For that, I thank you.
Although his plan did not work to win the state championship, he was however able to shape up these students into actual men who were able to make choices for their lives for the future. And that was my speech. And here is my audience.